So, Katie, you and I, over the last 3 or 4 years, have probably met. Well, we were doing an accounting the other day, and we've met with over 300 finance teams, CFOs, all across the mid-market, from AIM-listed businesses, privately owned being the majority, private equity-backed, overseas subs. And the conversation's always been around their audits, how it's currently going with their current auditors. And we've been looking at those interviews that we've been doing, and there's a few recurring kind of themes that have come out of it. Yeah. And so we will just kind of dive into a couple of those today, try to understand why it is the case, why our clients aren't experiencing some of the challenges that some of these businesses are seeing from that perspective. So that's the plan, really, that we're going to have a conversation around that.
Sound good? Sounds good.
Good. So we start with the one which probably comes up the most is continuity of team.
Absolutely. And I've heard that so many times in terms of when we're meeting new businesses for the first time. I mean, from a CP perspective, everything we do is about making sure that we have continuity on audits. Our whole culture is around retaining our people, because we have brilliant people. We are so, we're really privileged. We have some great people in the business. And everything we do is around making sure our people are happy, and then they'll deliver an absolutely awesome client experience. So in terms of having that high level of retention, make sure that we have a good level of continuity. It's more efficient from an audit perspective if we have great continuity. So, absolutely, it kind of feels like it aligns. I'm kind of quite curious as to why businesses, other firms, wouldn't have continuity as a priority when they're looking after their clients.
Yeah, I mean, and what we know from those conversations, they're not getting that. So, I mean, what does, if you take the continuity aspect out of it, what is that client going to experience?
In terms of
the
how
audit
do you mean?
Process. So if I'm delivering an audit and I'm constantly changing the team time and time again, what knock-on effect is that going to have to my clients?
That's really, in terms of, that's really time consuming, because the whole benefit for a client in continuity is they'll have somebody that comes in that knows the business, and actually therefore you're not asking questions over and over again that had you have known their business you wouldn't need to. So it's time consuming, it's inefficient. But that plays exactly the same for us.
Yeah.
So, we from an audit perspective, we look at planning our resourcing 12 months ahead, and therefore next year's audit's already booked in, and therefore you're planning for the team that worked on it previously to each move up a level and therefore remain the same going into next year's audit.
Yeah.
But I can have huge empathy with clients if they experience a firm that looks after them and they've got changes going in terms of the team every year. That's really painful.
Do you think, especially for the clients that are being audited by a larger firm, are they still important as they were to that firm as they were 5, 10, 15 years ago? Do you think the priorities have changed for those firms, which therefore means they're not perhaps delivering the same levels of service than they were a few years ago?
Certainly what I hear from both my clients and also my fellow RPs clients is that the reason for change is quite often those clients didn't feel important. So we only specialise in the mid-market. So we've made a specific, we've decided that we're not going to look after large listed clients. That's not what we're good at. We're great at looking after clients in the mid-market, and that's what we specialise in. I think certainly what we're hearing is that those firms that look after the larger listed businesses, those clients get prioritised over the mid-market clients.
Okay.
And therefore that could play into some of the reason why those mid-market businesses feel like they're not getting continuity.
And is that compounded because you also hear one of the things about just general resource in the audit market as a whole?
Yeah.
Therefore, if resource is finite, does that impact the service experience for those mid-market clients as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've been really lucky in recruiting some awesome people who've fallen out of love in terms of the firms that they were previously working for, and come and joined us, and then they've had people that have followed them as well. And I sort of come back to what I said before in terms of culture, and people first is so important to us. Actually, we're really lucky in terms of retention levels, in terms of what we hear compared to other firms. We've got great retention. So I think that really makes a difference in terms of continuity.
Yeah, brilliant.